All right, what's up, everybody? I figured I would take a moment to talk about this since we're nearing my 15th anniversary on the platform, and I haven't discussed this really in several years. So, yeah, we're coming up to 15 years of me producing and uploading content to YouTube. The vast majority of that is a bunch of nonsense. There's a handful of videos I'm really proud of. So, looking at my analytics, basically, I have a lifetime viewership of over 3 million views, which isn't bad. My Night Trap the movie cut, I have three different cuts, two of which are unlisted, and all three of those cuts combined is like 130,000 views, which really isn't that bad to me for something that's completely an original work that I did. But whenever you break it down, I mean, looking at my subscriptions, I only have like 3,500 subscriptions, which, I mean, is whatever. I'm glad that anybody at all would want to watch my content, to be honest, because as I said, a lot of it is just nonsense. It's just sometimes it's discouraging to go and take all the time to, cut up and do something that I feel like is, wow, this is really interesting, or I went and did some extra work, I did some research, I found an angle on this particular subject nobody else has discussed, and I'll upload it and it'll get like 50 views. Now, it's not to say that I don't appreciate all the views I get on, everything. It's just that whenever I take the extra time to go over and research something and, professionally videograph and edit and that kind of thing, it would just be, kind of cool to see a few more than, 65 views on it. What exactly is it that I'm not particularly doing correct? I'm not really sure. The problem is this channel was never set up as a particular subject. It's more or less kind of just some sort of creative release for me. And I'm interested in lots of things. I'm interested in music. I'm interested in synthesizers, music production. I'm interested in video games. I'm interested in slasher horror movies from the 80s, Blu-ray collecting. I mean, there's so many things I'm interested in. I just want to throw all that stuff on here because it's just like, well, I'm interested in it and I get some sort of satisfaction out of it, so I want to make a video about it. And I think in the long run that probably came up as a detriment, because you have people where their entire channel is just strictly dedicated to video games, or their entire channel is strictly dedicated to Blu-ray collecting, or their entire channel is strictly dedicated to toys and action figures, things like that. And mine was never set up to do that. Back in the day when we set up these channels, it was mainly just to look into a webcam and to talk. It was just vlogging. That's all YouTube was, is vlogging. And then Smosh came along and kind of changed the way that you approached it in making it actual videos. And then Angry Video Game Nerd, he came along and pushed that boundary even further. At the time I didn't have the equipment, and also it just wasn't anything that I was interested in at, and we're talking 2008, 7, 9, 10. I was more or less just interested in listening to music, playing games, and going to concerts. That was it. The entire platform shifted over to that type of thing, and I basically got, I feel like I got left in the dust. And so ever since then, I've just been playing catch up. See, the thing is I feel like that I can contribute something, of decent quality to the community. And the problem is trying to figure out where in that, niche, or in that kaleidoscope that I fit. And it's the weirdest thing because, like, when it comes to Tooth and Nail Records, I could be wrong, but I kind of look at myself as one of the premier and top historians when it comes to just curating all the human knowledge in one, location, that with the history of that label, of those bands, of that era of music and in that scene. And the problem is, since all that is music, I can't do anything about that on YouTube, because me personally, I don't like talking about bands or albums without doing full deep dives into the listening experience, because that is the band. And if I can't sit here and play tracks on YouTube and, discuss them, it's just simply pointless. I'll put up a video and it'll get claimed by Universal Music Group 3 seconds later, or Capitol. So it's That's kind of it's definitely an untapped market that I would really, really love to get into, but unfortunately Metallica screwed it up for all of us, so now we can't do that. But it would just be nice if I could have that sort of influence and that effect on the retro gaming community, most specifically even the Sega CD side, because that's the one thing I'm most passionate about is the Sega CD. And I know that a lot of other people just simply dismiss it because everybody's hitting hard and heavy on the NES and the Sega Genesis and the Super NES and the Dreamcast, and it's just like Sega CD just kind of gets left in the dust. I'm just not really sure what exactly, if anything, that I should be doing differently that would make, I guess, the channel more marketable. I don't know. I'm not necessarily wanting to have a bazillion views, but as I said, it's just when I take the time to make something that's a little bit more informative and a little bit more professional, it would be nice to be rewarded with a decent slate of views on that. I couldn't care less if people watch my vlogging videos or me talking about the nonsense I picked up at the store. That's whatever. I am thinking about tapping an area that I haven't really messed with before, and that's basically talking about my day job, my, I guess, career, for lack of better words, which is video editing. So I was wanting to go and discuss on that because, I mean, there's tutorials that I could show. There's other things that I could go into depth as far as that goes, which might be somewhat interesting. I don't know. Again, it'll probably just get 25 views. I don't have much else to say. I just wanted to kind of, I don't know, do a state of the channel address because I haven't done one of these in forever, and see if anybody has any critiques or anything on that, on where I could, cut up the slack where there is some slack, and where I could focus on where things need to be focused on. I don't know. I'm just wanting to make the content. I don't necessarily pay attention to the details of it after that point. But I guess that's all there is. So thanks for watching me yammer, and peace out.